Hey everybody, this is me, Undead Viking. I have played this game a ton with my daughter. It is called Creature College. The idea behind the game is that each player is a student at the Creature College. And you will be bidding on and claiming different fantastic creatures that you will then use to fight the other students at the Creature College. Along the way, you're going to be earning lots of different points for the different elements that your creatures are located in, the improvements that you make to your research lab. You get victory points for winning battles, and plus there's a giant mutated guinea pig that shows up and tries to ruin everybody's day as well. So let me show you how to play the game. It's a heck of a lot of fun. The artwork is beautiful, and then we'll come back here and I'll talk more in depth about why I'm digging Creature College. Alright, cool. Alright, this is Creature College, and this is a game for 2 to 6 people. I guess I've gone ahead and set the game up for 6, just so you can kind of see how that works. I am only going to have the 1-player board in front of me, showing what I'm going to be doing as Mia, the mutated cuddly pet creator. So as the game begins, what's going to happen is you're going to get this player board, you're going to get your player color, the different cubes, so you can keep track of the level of the different powers or creatures that you gain on these different tracks of Earth, Air, Fire, Water, and Myth. And then you set up the main board here. The board has the timing track here. You're going to have 3 seasons, autumn, winter, and spring. Each season consists of 4 rounds, 3 of which are bidding rounds in which you draft creatures. And you bid and draft creatures into your stable, basically. And then the last round of each season is a fighting round. So at the beginning of the game, you have to get an ability and you get a mission. And so you will be given 3 of these little ability cards, these little squares here. And then you look at the abilities and you're going to take one of these cards. And so this one gives me a +2 to water in battle. So any battle that I have water, and I get a +2 power. I can re-roll the battle card die. You roll the battle card die after the bidding to see if you get cards to help out to get your research lab better, or draw battle cards that you can use, obviously, probably in battle. And then here, reuse your 7 counter once. Normally, those are your bidding tokens. Normally, you can only use each of those tokens once during the entire, all of the bidding. There's 9 bidding rounds and 9 tokens. But if you have this, you can reuse the 7 once. I actually really like that. So I'm going to take that as my ability. These 2 are going to be used, and after everybody else picks theirs, you just put those aside. You're not going to be doing those. Alright, and then so for the next thing, I grab 3 of these cards that are my secret mission. And the number of points, if you satisfy the secret mission, the number of points you'll get is listed around the bottom. So I have a 15-1, a 20, and a 25. So the 15 looks like it'd be pretty easy, and the 20, a little tougher. And obviously the 25, probably way tougher due to the fact that you have to get quite a few of the red there. So looking at that, let's go midway, and we're going to go ahead and go this route with so we're going to need an air, 3 fire, a water, and 2 myth if I want to be able to turn in for 20 points at the end of the game. Alright, so we take that, and the secret mission remains secret. Nobody else gets to see that. And so you put that aside, and then you take the missions and you put those back as well. Like, you're only going to have that 1 mission in the game. Alright, after everybody has taken both their ability and their mission, what will happen is you're going to take cards off the top of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to lay these cards out like so. And they're going to have different colors on them to represent the different elements. And so I can see here we got a couple of myth, an air, 2 fire, and we have a wild. Wild cards are just that. They are wild cards. But it is important to remember that when you use them as a certain color, especially if you're using them to satisfy your quest, you also are using them to increase the same track that you're down here on this for these different elements here. So what happens then is that each person probably is going to check their mission and see if they can get a card. So I need fire. I need fire cards. I need a blue card. I need a air card. I need 2 myth. So I'm sitting pretty good. I mean, any of these cards help. in this situation. So each person has the same bidding tokens, and so what'll happen is that they'll look, and there's they can't go up to higher strength than just the 4 that are out here. So maybe like the red player who's first goes ahead and puts a 6 on the Malevolent Imp. Now I kind of wanted that one because of the fact that I need a myth card, and that's the highest strength one out there. And so what I can do is I can take a number that's higher than the ones on there, and I can go ahead and I can bump them off there like so. And so when that happens, the player that I bumped has to immediately then take their token and put it on another card, another creature they're going to bid for. Now, you aren't allowed to change your token. You can't say, okay, well, I don't want to use the 6 anymore, I want to use the 2. Once you've picked your token, that's locked in. And so then the next player, maybe it's green, and they don't care about anything that's out there. They're just going to they took their 1 out, and they put it on the tree that's there. And so, but yellow shows up, and yellow says, well, you know what, I actually, I really want that Malevolent Imp. And so they bump me again. I'm like, what the heck? So I get bumped. Now, I can either go, for, this one, I could bump him again. But looking at my mission, I do need that air, so I'm just go ahead. That's fine, whatever. I'll put my 7 on the Spiraling Zephyr there, and I'll just take that one. And so after yellow, then purple goes, and purple doesn't care that much. They put their 2 on the red 2 on the bottom, and then blue, who went last, just goes ahead and just attack with it and puts a 1. I'm just going to take that. So now, before anybody takes their cards, because the bidding's all done, you do have to adjust the player order. And what happens is the person who bid the most, the highest number, gets to go to the front of the table. So you start at the top. So then yellow is going to be first, like so. And they're going to go like that. So the next up is my 7. So I'm going to maintain my spot there. Red bid 6 and goes there. Purple bid 2 and is going to go 4th. And now we have a situation where 2 people bid 1. And if that happens, you just maintain whatever order they were already in. Green was already ahead of blue, so green will stay ahead of blue. So, after all that is done, you're going to take back all the tokens, and unless they have a special power like I do, they're gone. But I do have the special power, I could reuse my 7. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in the list, and then everybody takes their card. And so you just collect them like so. And so I have this card, and I'm just going to put it there like so. Alright, so after that is done, each player is then going to take these dice, and they're going to roll these 2 dice. One die has 1s and 2s on it. The other die has all these little symbols, and the symbols stand for these research lab cards that are over here. Like, that is a victory point, the little chalice is a victory point. That is the element track spot, and the little heart stands for battle gems. And so you're going to roll these 2 dice, and you're going to have, this is going to say you can either draw this number of battle cards, or you can take 1 card from either of the 2 symbols that are there. So yellow goes, and they roll, and they get that. And then it's my turn, and I'll roll, and I got a 1, which kind of stinks, because I like battle cards, I don't like taking 1. Or I can take a victory point card, or I can take a battle gem card. So I'm probably just going to take a victory point card. So actually, it's free points, right? So you just take a victory point card, and you turn it over, and you put it there. And this one's actually the best possible one. It's worth 6 victory points at the end of the game. So I just go ahead and put that in my first research lab spot. Now, you're going to be doing that at the end of every bidding round. So as soon as your research lab is full, you're done. You can't draw any more cards. You have to take the battle cards that you roll. And so, and then so the other cards just are what you probably can guess. Track bonus, what that's +2 to any track. And so what that does is that you just move your tokens up on any of the tracks that you wish. Note, that is not for your mission, though. Your mission is for the cards. Which cards you have to have, which kind of creatures you have to have. But when you go up these, you'll notice that there's these numbers. Each time you go up, you earn a few more points for each one of those tracks that you go up. So those are important. Battle gems are a little different. Like a +2 win gem, what happens then is that when you win, you get +2 more win gems when you win. There's also battle gem options, and these are cumulative. So if you just if you keep getting them, like the green gems are worth positive points and the red ones are worth negative. So if you get one of these, you then get less negative gems when you lose battles with those, and so you can take those as well. And those are and if you can maintain keep all of the get all really good battle gems. Like I had a player play, and they were actually able to, when they won their battles, they were just raking in the points that way, and it's actually a pretty good strategy. But regardless, the game, you're going to do that bidding 2 more times. Now, there is one thing that happens inside this deck. There is a card, and I'm going to find him. Here he is. This is Kevin the Giga Pig. Now, when Kevin the Giga Pig shows up, you can't bid on him. You can't try to win him. You notice that he has a strength of, and this is different because he gets stronger as the game goes on. But this version of Kevin the Giga Pig has a strength of 5, and he has a -3, like 3 red gems if you lose the battle. Each player, when Kevin the Giga Pig shows up, each player has to use their monsters of 1 element. So, like, if I had the Spiraling Zephyr and I had another air creature, then I could get to 5 and fight him, and then I would win. You can't combine all of your creatures if you have, like, an air and a myth and a water. You have to pick 1 element of creatures. And if you remember, if you take your wild creatures and make them that one thing, they can be that one thing, but you can only use 1 wild creature per battle. But so, and if you can defeat him, then nothing bad happens. If you can't defeat him, you get the penalty. And so you would just go, and then so you would get, you would get, if I fought him and I couldn't beat him, I would get 3 negative gems, and I'd put it up there on that top level, like so. And so, therein lies the problem when you run into Kevin the Giga Pig, because obviously, if you're not prepared to fight him, you're going to get some negative points. But I should mention also, I didn't do it, because I got this card, I should move up 1 spot on the air track, like so. So, you do that for, like I said, 2 more. I'm just going to take 2 cards out of here. I'm not going to go through each bidding process and bore you crazy. But let's say I got this guy, so it's pretty good. Another, and then maybe I got this blue one. So I would have this marked like that. So we get done with those 3 bidding rounds, and then we're going to go into the battle round. Now, when the battle round happens, what occurs is that I now fight the people to my right and to my left, and this goes in player order again. When you decide to fight somebody, you have to pick 1 element that you have, and you then choose you fight them with that element, and they can only defend with that element as well. So, and you have to fight both of them with the exact same thing. So let's say, like, to my right, they had those. They had like two myth and a fire, and I'm just gonna take some cards here, and then maybe to my left, I have an air and a water, and so give them another water like that. So I'm looking at both of these, and obviously I'm thinking, well, I've got a really good shot at beating them both if I attack them with both of my air creatures, because I have a total of 9 there. And let's just say I have 1 battle card too. So I have this battle card that's +2 points. So what's going to happen is that I have to decide which one I'm going to attack with. And whatever you decide to attack with, and you can't decide not to attack, you have to attack. But whatever cards you decide to attack with, as soon as you do the attack, you exhaust them. So you turn them on their side, and they stay like that for the rest of the game. They can't be used to attack ever again, and they can't be used to defend anymore for the rest of the game as well, which is huge, obviously, because what if this guy attacks me with that air creature, So, but fine, whatever, I go through with the attack. And so I go ahead and I attack him, and he, doesn't play any battle cards or anything. He just says, fine, I lose. But when you lose a battle, you don't get, like, when you're defending, you don't get negative gems for that. Basically, the only thing is that I can earn positive gems for winning the battle. So I go ahead and I would take, you get 2 gems unless you modify it with like a battle gem improvement. So I get 2 for winning the battle there. So, but we go over here and just, not that this would probably happen, but for the sake of a yuck here, let's say I go over here to this one and I attack this player. And they're like, well, I got 9, what do you got? And if this player goes ahead and just says, well, I'm going to just use all 3 of these battle cards for 3, 7, and 10. And they're like, I got 10, you got 9. Because even though they can't defend with anything, they can use those battle cards. But what I could do then is I could use my own battle card of +2, which would then give me 11 to their 10. And then I'd win. And I get another 2 cards like so. So that's how the battle works. Now the battle is tricky because of the fact, like I said, I've done this, and if I went like, as far as the player order goes, like if I'm one of the first to attack, now I've left myself open to a pretty big attack. I mean, he doesn't have to use his water creatures to attack me. Because remember, these people are next to me. They're going to be attacking me. He could attack with his air, because I don't have any air to defend anymore, and things like that. So that's like one of those things that it's really, the player order really matters a lot when you're doing the battles. But so after that's done, you just go to the next season, and you go to the next season until you get to the final part of the game. And then you just total up your points. You get your points for wherever these markers ended up on these tracks. Hopefully maybe you got some of them high up to these like 20 or 30 spots by using these element tracks bonuses where you get to add to the tracks and things like that. If you completed your mission by, remember, it isn't the spot on the track that matters, it's the type of cards that matter. So, and even if you've exhausted them, so if I had 3 fire, a water, 2 myth, and an air at the end of the game, then I would satisfy that. I get my bonus points for completing my mission, and then any other points you get from the cards you got from the research lab cards, and the points you get from your victory crystals as well. Whoever has the most points wins. If there's a tie, whoever has the least negative battle tokens wins. And if there's still a tie, then whoever tied wins the game at that point. So there you go. That's how you play Creature College. I love the art. I love the gameplay. My daughter and I, this is, we play this with my wife. It's a great 3-player game. And there's some slight changes to the game when you play 2 players. I played it with my daughter, just 2 players. But the core of the game remains the same, and it is like I said, it's a ton of fun. But let me tell you more about that in my conclusion. Alright, thank you very much for watching the gameplay portion of the video. So I kind of went in a little bit in the introduction, also during the gameplay, talking about the game and what I like about it. This was, when my daughter was younger, and I was like bringing her up in like kind of this board game hobby that I did, and you kind of have to like find the level of complexity that will challenge them, but won't drown them, so to speak. And I've been. It's one of those things that's it's tricky. And my daughter is 8, and she's going to be starting 3rd grade very shortly. And there's some games that she gets perfectly. If it's like a negotiation game, if it's a game of bluffing and things like that, she's very good at those for her age. I mean, she will regularly fool people in any of those kind of social bluffing type games. But I've had some difficulty finding games that have more of the problem solving, have the kind of Euro element, to introduce her to get her, that gear in her brain rolling. But what I found was if there's a really cool theme and there's a really cool art, this is something that she'll want to play and she'll want to learn. And so one of the great things about this is when she saw it, she saw what the game was about, and she watched myself and a couple of my friends play it. She really latched on. After we finished the first game, games don't take too long. Games last about 30, maybe 40 minutes. She said, can we play it again? And she wanted to play. And so she sat down, and I kind of helped her a little bit with the bidding thing, because it was difficult. But it was was fun watching the things slide into place, and figuring it out. And that's not to say that, like, it's an easy game either. I mean, there's a lot going on as far as, the mechanisms at play. There's several choices that you have to make that will affect like kind of a longer strategy as you play. I mentioned the process of, like, going for the battle gems, and getting all of those down below, and getting them early, so you'll have them all there by the time the second battle happens. I mean, and that's like, if you can get an extra extra 20 points of for in a battle round, I mean, that's huge. And then you're combining that with the other things as well. The same thing goes for, like, the tracks and trying to get those cards. And the thing is that you can't really focus on not take battle cards. Battle cards are extremely important. And there's other things, and battle cards aren't just a flat, like, bonus, add 2, add 3, or whatever. Some of them have, like, descriptors where, like, it's like this card, like the Doppelganger Field, you double your lowest number. So, like, if you're in a battle, and, like, you have, like, a 3 is your lowest, it becomes a 6, things like that. And so there are like varied effects and things like that kind of monkey with it. And the fact that they have, like, a big giant stack of all the different abilities and everything, it's going to take a long time to go through all those ability cards, and then each one of those kind of affects the strategy as well. Now, this isn't a super deep or super heavy game by any means, but it definitely does hold its own, and it is one of those, like, socially, like, medium Euros, I guess, if you will, because the theme really works well with the mechanisms, but it isn't that you have to be concentrating on the table, like, the entire time. And this is a game that you can kind of relax and just enjoy the process, and you can kind of enjoy the different cards, and, like, and the bidding is, like, I love bidding games. It's one of those things. I love auction bidding. I love the idea of, like, a finite resource being used to collect the things that you need. And, like, so deciding to play it, like, safe, and cheap at the beginning, and so that you can spring and drop your big tokens on like the larger items later, I mean, is important. Or go at it right away, and get the stuff that you think you need, so you can have that good stockpile at the beginning, and or you just want to play middle of the road and just kind of seize your chances. I mean, there's the fact that you normally aren't allowed to use those bidding tokens more than once. It's a fantastic element of the game that, like, you will inevitably have moments where you're like, oh, because it's open knowledge. And that's the cool thing about the game, is that I'll be playing it and I'll be looking at who's ahead of me and who's below me, and, like, I'm just there and it's like, okay, well, and you're looking at what they have left. Okay, he's got a 4, he's got a 9, and he's got a 2 left, and so and I have my 5, my 3, and my 8. So and then you're like, well, if he really wants that card, there's nothing I can do to stop him from taking it. So I might as well just use my 3 right now. Because, or maybe I use my 5 and then make him use his 9 if he wants to take it ahead of me, and then I have my 8 in backup. And so you have, like, those decisions and that fun little aspect of the game as well. All in all, like I said, I mean, it's a fun game. It's one of those games that, like, you can teach super fast to like, experienced gamers. And I was able to get my daughter up and rolling and playing this in, like, less than 10 minutes. And so, if you have like, younger kids that you want to introduce to your board game hobby, I would really strongly suggest you take a look at this one and see if it's something that would fit for you. And even if you are, like, an experienced gamer and you're just looking for something more family oriented, a little lighter, I would strongly suggest taking a look at this as well. So there you go. If you have any questions about Creature College, please ask away. I'll try to answer those questions to the best of my ability. As always, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, this is me, the Undead Viking, telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.